if you really are a person who wants to learn and be successful, you do know you have to know where you came from.
Okay.
And we came from a good place.
Okay.
I didn't create this.
Okay.
Charles Inslee, as president, was very successful. During the 80s,
Yeah.
this union grew.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, one time it was like Midas Touch. It was hiring, they were getting hiring. I'm a product of it.
Yeah.
I got hired in the 80s.
Yeah.
I saw caseworkers come in. We built up our population in child welfare.
Yeah.
Before that, PCW wasn't as a big
Yeah.
entity. So how did that happen? Well, he did that. There's a famous story that we talk about. When Ed Cox, when he was the mayor, when he used to see Charles, he told Charles, "Time I see you, I think about caseworkers." And that was perfect. That was perfect. So I used that to think there's a guy, Mr. Hernandez, for remote. And I tell him, every time I see you, I think about remote. And guess what? We achieved that.
Yeah.
So you have to see what it is, right? But you have to know where you came from to go, where you want to go, and where do you want to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people will still have the value of the union.
Yeah.
What that looks like, well, if we don't be
Involved.
then that's going to hold a whole different picture.
Yeah.
Right? There are a lot of unions out there who are just service. That's what they really do.
Yeah.
We want to be different than that.
Okay.
Okay. We want to have a committee of concerned social workers.
Yeah.
We want to have the
LGBTQ.
Yes. You
A plus.
We want to have African American community, Latino. We want to have those.
Yeah.
We want to expand it.
Yeah.
They're ethnic groups.
Veterans Committee. Yeah.
Veterans Committee, our Asian Committee, which I think is one of the most informative ones, because most people looked at Asians as being from China, Japan.
Right.
And we've learned through this committee that the Asian is wider than that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's a great accomplishment.
Yeah.
And if people have a chance to come and do that. So I don't know what it looks like. I would hope that we made some impact, some of the stuff that we have going,
Yeah.
that we continue to go.
Yeah.
Okay, because we've done that. We didn't say, "Oh, that's the past," and we're just gonna
Yeah.
get rid of it, because you can't. Because it's particularly for people of color and women. And see, if you do that, then you are denying life.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when it didn't look like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a shift. So, going in that same direction, what advice would you give to future leaders, right? Like, so there are people that are going to watch this video that are going to just be starting their union, with their journey with the union,
Right.
or maybe a little far advanced, but maybe they're considering or even thinking about, like, I want to get into leadership, I want to get involved, and I want to be at the table when decisions are being made. And so what advice would you give them?
Learn, participate. There are people here in leadership who are still learning, because they didn't know they was going to be in leadership. Right? They didn't even know. I saw something in them sometime. I even had to argue with a couple of them about being in a leadership position. And they're still learning.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, do it because you're interested in doing it. So people who want to do it for their own little, and that's, at some point it is, but at the end of the day, it's going to show itself.
Yeah.
All right? So you're going to find out. Like I said, I've been doing this without the union, and then at a time when I had what I call my mama years in college. And so I had no idea I was working for the union.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't really know that much about the union until I met up with Larry. My first interaction with this union, I broke my knee July 2nd of 1981.
Ooh.
I had just moved into my first apartment like a month before. It was great. It was myself. I moved in the house, and I had a great landlord named Mr. Pt.4. He was the neighborhood person. Everybody hung at his house. It was cool. He was hanging out downstairs. I was hanging out upstairs. We was having a good time, and I broke my knee on the job. So I had workers' comp, but it took a minute. And right before I was going to have to borrow some money, I called the welfare fund, and I talked to this lady right here, Shirley Gray. I talked to Shirley Gray, and about 2 weeks later, I had a check for $700. My rent was nothing.
Wow.
And that was my first real interaction with this union. Next year, Charles Inslee ran for president. I voted for him. Didn't know really who he was, but I learned about the union.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, 1983, when I went to the Queens Field office, it's when I really, they really taught me.
Yeah.
And they gave me the most difficult, they gave me all the crazy people, right? Give it to Anthony. Yeah, okay. And I did it. and I built a reputation on being able to help people.
Okay.
Because that's the bottom line. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
We're here to help people.
So it sounds like the advice you would give upcoming leadership is remember who your North Star is, and your North Star is your members. How is what you're doing translating into how you're showing up for your members?
How are you doing? Be honest with your members.
Yeah.
Don't promise pie in the sky.
Yeah.
Advocate where you can. And when they mess up, you got to tell them. You know,
what did
they docket me? Well, did you call in? Well, I called in on Monday, but you've been out for 3 weeks. You call in on Monday, you got to call in on Tuesday, Wednesday, or tell them on Monday I'm going to be out for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Or I leave a message for my supervisor. You can't leave a message for your supervisor with your coworker because your coworker ain't obligated to tell the message. And you tell me, COVID comes in, and you in trouble.
Well, we ain't even going. That's a whole nother interview. We ain't even going to go down
COVID,
the COVID rabbit.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
We ain't going to go down.
Okay, get out of that COVID, because
get out of here, COVID. We ain't going to do it.
You know, because I use COVID in a minute, girl. You messed up.
What?
COVID.
So what is something? Right, we got a lot of good, useful information and knowledge about the union. What is something that you think is like a misconception that people have about the union that you would want to clear up?
I said earlier, we just help pay people in trouble. That's what the union. How you represent those bad people? Well, because we represent good people, we represent people. That's a misconception that we do it. That's two, that we don't care. Now you may be in the union that doesn't care, and that's when you change that leadership by being involved.
Yeah.
But in this union. Okay, and beyond me, people do care. Now, sometimes people don't show it the way they should say, because you got to show that you care not for your satisfaction, but for the people you're dealing with. You know,
you're servicing.
If a man's thirsty and you give him a piece of bread, you did not address his need.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
A woman needs shelter, and you buy them a coat, but they got no place to live with. They wear that coat in the house.
Yeah.
How do you deal with their need?
Yeah.
Or people need mental health services.
Yeah.
And you don't recognize that. So you have to have that kind of stuff. It's not easy, it's a challenge. We're human beings, people change every day.
Yeah.
We ain't in charge, God's in charge. It's your interpretation of what that means. No one can define that for you. You know, I've had all kinds of relationships with church in my revolutionary days. I blamed the church. You know, I got back into the church, and then I got back into a leader in the church. I tell you, one lesson that we need to have, though, is you can't invest all in a single person. Dr. William Barber from North Carolina had a great analysis. The reason why the civil rights movement failed after Dr. King, because we all invested in Dr. King. So you moved Dr. King. The reason why these people who are in charge now have been successful because they morphed. They needed a change from Ronald Reagan, and some people even go back before Ronald Reagan, right?
Yeah.
But their goal didn't change.
Yeah.
They want to rule the world, and they do everything to rule that world.
Yeah.
Right? Even took a break, right? Took a 12-year break.
To get stronger.
And came back.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, came back with a vengeance, right?
Yeah.
So they took a 8-year break. Then came to another break now, and look what we had.
Yeah.
And the same principles, different. So that's the kind of, I think, fortitude you need to have.
Okay.
I would hope that it goes on. You know, I see the world a little differently now.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do as you get blessed to live long enough to see another year.
Yeah. I mean, again, stop looking at my cheat sheet because it looks like you tried to answer the last question.
I got new eyes. I still can't see that. By the way, I do. Premium free healthcare is one of my goals. Okay, I'm probably the loudest advocate. Fight paying premiums as long as you can, because once they come, they don't go down and they don't go away, and they take up a lot of money out of your pocket.
Okay, you heard him. So if there was so many jewels dropped, but if there was one message that maybe we didn't speak about that you feel like you want our members to walk away with, what would that be?
Be the best you that you can be on any given day.
Okay.
That's the best, because you can't be it every day. And it may look easy, but you can't be it every day. And it's challenge. And when you have challenges, look for some help. Find something outside yourself. It's not easy. It's not easy, but in the end run, it's a way that you can deal with life, because this is a fragile thing. And you got so many examples. And I've known them personally, and we just went through one, and you just got to do the best that you can on any given day.
Okay.
And be nice.
It's nice to be
kind.
nice. Be kind. Thank you, President Walls, for sitting with us today and sharing
so much.
your journey with us. It was very informative. It was very comical.
I want you to know.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, baby. Appreciate you.
Mwah.